Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brothers Take podcast, a podcast where nerdy brothers get together each and every week, primarily to talk gaming. And in this week's episode, we're going to be doing just that. My name is Kris. I'm joined once again by my brother Eric.
Hello.
And in this week's episode, we are back in the room to talk Xbox. I'm going to be giving my first impressions of the new game by Compulsion Games, South of Midnight, which launched on game as an Xbox exclusive. So it launched on Game Pass day one, of course, but also you can get it outside of Game Pass. I think it's cheaper than usual games. I think it's only like in the 40, 50 quid range,
Nice.
which is pretty good. So it's, that kind of gives you an idea that it's like a smaller game experience, not one of these big, massive AAA open world type things. So we're going to be talking about that. And then, talking about whether it's going to be one of these great new Xbox games, and then sharing our personal top 5 Xbox games of all time. Now, this is obviously going to be just our personal opinion. It's not a definitive list of what is the best. And we have to be very careful about how we define Xbox games nowadays, because we couldn't just do whoever Xbox own, because acquisitions have come and games came out earlier that they now own, but that wasn't an Xbox exclusive back then. And then we were like, do you just do Xbox exclusives? What about games that were made third party but launched on Xbox? And anyway, so we decided to go with the same rules that we did with both the Switch games and that we did when we were looking at the best of PlayStation games as well for the 30th anniversary, which was that if it launched primarily on Xbox, and PC is okay too, because let's face it, they're both Microsoft. But if it launched on Xbox first and came to other consoles later, then we will class it as an Xbox game. And therefore, it can make our list. But we'll, of course, want to hear from you guys too. So make sure, if you're watching YouTube, that you jump down into the comments to share your favorite Xbox games of all time. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please do give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for all future content. And to those who listen to us on audio platforms, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on the top 5 Xbox games of all time. Also share your impressions at South of Midnight if you're playing it. But without further ado, let's talk Xbox. It's a good time to be talking Xbox. So very recently, they have shared that their summer showcase, the Xbox showcase, will be on June the 8th. And it will be followed by a special look at The Outer Wilds 2, or The Outer Worlds 2, I should say, sorry. The Outer Worlds 2 will get a special deep dive, but the usual big summer showcase will happen before that. This is obviously very exciting. I don't think they can top last year's showcase. I'm going to be honest. I'm not expecting them.
You say that, but
I'm not expecting them to top last year's. However, I do think it'll probably be the best showcase of this year as well. Like I think Xbox, hey, their developer direct was also unbelievable. Like,
True.
Come on, like, and as well when they're saying we're announcing our date for our showcase 2 months early, come on, they're like, we've got stuff to show you. Like,
that already got nothing.
that's kind of ballsy.
You.
I bet you, just while we're on it, I bet we're going to get another look at Gears of War E-Day and a release year.
Okay. He's betting, guys. He's betting.
Yeah, I bet you we will. I bet you will. What if, Eric, it ended with an Evil Within 3? What if they did that, Eric? What if they did that?
You shut your mouth. Don't give me hope.
We'll get another look at Fable. And that game looks fantastic.
Does look very good.
At this point as well, all the games that they would have... This is the crazy part. So we're getting a summer showcase, right? And at this point, all of the games that they showed at the Developer Direct will have been out. Like, that's crazy. Like, they will have had just an awesome first half of the year, and they still got another half of a year to go. Wild. So we'll have Doom the Dark Ages.
Oh, yeah, that's coming out.
That's right. We'll have... Claire Obscure Expedition 33 coming later this month.
They're doing all these like character trailers and they look great. They're doing great advertisement for that.
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to that game.
We will have... we might not have at this point. I can't remember. When is Ninja Gaiden coming?
I don't...
no. Sorry, that was just in development, so we'll probably hear more about that one. It was that the Shadow dropped the Ninja Gaiden 2 remake, so that's already out. So that's there available.
So yeah, that's 4 of the 5 games that they announced are released by the time this showcase comes out.
And the other one is, of course, South of Midnight. which is now out, and I have been playing. Please take this only as early impressions. I have played the first 4 chapters of the game. I have no idea how many chapters there are. What I've played, the chapters are quite short. So I've no I've literally have no indication as to whether is it a 20 chapter game, is it a 12 chapter game, I don't have a
It's actually
clue.
5 chapters. You're
I
actually
haven't
near
learned
the
it.
end.
I've actually nearly finished it, maybe.
Yeah.
But I have at least I wanted to play it enough to get an idea of what to expect from the game as a whole. And when I finish it, I'll be able to give a better review of the game. But so far, and we've all seen. Hopefully, people have seen the trailers and stuff for South of Midnight, not the Midnight Walk. These two will get confused a lot.
Right, 'cause Midnight Walk is the claymation one, isn't it?
That's right, and this one
Right,
is going for more of a stop animation look, which is more clear in the cutscenes than it is in the gameplay.
Okay.
And in the cutscenes, it looks really cool. It looks very Spider-Verse kind of style.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say that Hazel, the character playing as, is voice acted very well. Whoever is voice acting her, she's very natural. She's humorous. She's emotional. So far, she's shown a lot of range, and I can't wait to see where her journey goes. It's very much like a fable, and I don't mean the game Fable. I mean, it's very much like a folklore tale type thing, which is obviously what they're going for. It's based on folklore from the Deep South, which is pretty cool. I know nothing about it, so it's all new to me, and I'm just taking it all in. So far, what I'm really enjoying is the world, the folklore itself. In some ways, it's darker than I was expecting.
Okay.
It's quite dark, actually. Some of the stuff that's in it. You play as Hazel. You're on a quest to find. This is like the setup. Your mother has gone missing, and you're on a quest to find your mother. And on the way, you will have lots of tasks to do. Right? That's
As you do. Yeah, yeah.
gist of the story. There's a lot of Kena Bridge of Spirits vibes.
I got
In a
that
way.
that vibe from all of it when I saw
Yeah.
it being advertised.
So you know the way in Kena Bridge of Spirits, usually if there was enemies, like the area would be all rotten. You defeat the enemies, you kind of bring the light back, and then everything goes nice again.
Yeah.
You're doing that essentially. That's what all the
Nice.
fights are, right?
Okay.
So if you like that loop of Kena, it's doing that again. And then each kind of chapter, or maybe 2 chapters or whatever, are kind of based around a character and their backstory, and you fixing them and solving their trauma, which is exactly what Kena was.
Yes.
You came across the masked character, you kind of found out their backstory, and you healed them in some way, shape, or form. Now, I haven't done a boss fight yet. I've heard there are boss fights. But I did do the first big set piece where you do heal a character and find out their backstory.
Right.
And it was tragic. It was a tragic backstory, which I was like, oh, well, like, I thought this game was going to be kind of much brighter than it is, right? But it's
Okay.
quite dark and gothic, actually. And one thing that's really stood out, the music is fucking amazing so far. It's a lot of bluegrass and jazz, which is really fitting for the bayou and all that kind of stuff. But it kind of, and I don't know, is this just a one-off? Was it just this moment, or is it going to happen more? But as I was kind of solving the first problem or the first character's trauma, it kind of turned into a musical. As in,
Okay.
the song started ramping up as I was doing what I was doing, and the song started like it was almost sung from the perspective of a character, and it was recounting the events that had happened.
Okay.
And it amped up the closer and closer I got to finishing the objective. And I was like, that is very cool, and I wonder, are they going to do it each time?
I think they did say in the direct that each one has their own song.
Oh, okay, I don't remember
Maybe
that.
I'm
So,
wrong there. Maybe
no,
maybe.
I'm getting the sense that they will, so I'm kind of looking forward now to what that's all going to sound like. This one was very much like a country song,
Nice.
but it was sad. It wasn't happy. Like, it wasn't a happy song at all.
How do you do a sad country song? It's not
Maybe
right.
more, maybe calling it country is the wrong vibe. Maybe calling it more like Americana folk kind of a song. But it was very much like a character singing about shame and guilt. So yeah, that was really, really cool. The gameplay so far is fine. I'm enjoying the traversal and getting around. Her jump animation is weird.
Okay.
Like when she jumps, yeah, just when she jumps in general, it looks strange. That doesn't look natural to me at all. And the combat is okay.
I would imagine, yeah, I kind of thought from what I could see with this game, the combat kind of like Kena Bridge of Spirits. Like you're definitely not playing it for the combat.
Absolutely.
You're playing it for the story, the style, the world, the characters and stuff. Because even with Kena Bridge of Spirits, when you deal with the first mass spirit
Hmm.
and it goes into that moment
Oh my
with the
God.
rain, it's the best. You just look at this
It
going, this
was
is the
just
best thing ever.
incredible,
Right. So
incredible.
I imagine like that was the really like outstanding stuff of Kena, and the music was very good in Kena as well.
Yes, it was,
It
yeah,
had a nice balance of
spectacular.
they had a nice balance of the cute and the
Mm.
kind of horror. I know I'd imagine Sound of Midnight from what you're saying, it's a bit more horror than this one. Not
So,
like Evil
s-
Within horror, but
no, no,
it's
no. But similarly to Kana, it does a nice balance of like there's kind of there is moments of whimsical humor
mm,
and kind of silliness and goofiness. There is moments of that. Especially with like you would have seen in the trailer, like the big talking fish character. You know what I
right.
mean? Like, so it's not all dark, but then there's like revelations where you're like, "Whoa, shit, that took a dark turn that I wasn't expecting." You know what I mean? So there is moment, and then the creatures actually look really fucked up.
Mm.
Like the creatures that you fight in it look like something like out of Devil May Cry almost. Like they're really demonic and monstrous. Like
Yeah.
so. But I think, and I hate to be comparing them because they're very unique as well. But
Yes.
Kana is a really good comparison, I think. So, Kana obviously being a PlayStation exclusive, South of Midnight to me so far, and obviously maybe this will change by the time I finished it, but on first impressions, South of Midnight is Xbox's Kana Bridge of Spirits. Completely different animation,
Mm,
so on the surface they don't look the same, obviously.
yeah.
But in terms of gameplay loop and at the heart of what you're doing, and cleansing the world and even like the combat and the cooldowns for abilities and then the puzzle solving and the traversal, they are very alike. That's not a criticism. I think it's a good thing that like in a similar way where people were like that PlayStation's like that Astrobot is that's PlayStation's Mario. And when people compare it to Mario, it's not a bad thing to say that that's just like a Mario game. It's just that it's now PlayStation's take on a Mario game.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that the platforms have their own versions of the thing because not everyone has the same stuff, you know?
Mm,
So if you only a PlayStation, you don't have Nintendo, now you can kind of experience what a Mario game is kind of like, by playing Astrobot. And in a similar way then here, this is Xbox's game. Now I wouldn't be surprised if later on South of Midnight comes to the Switch 2. I think it would be a very fitting game to come to the Switch 2, and obviously some Xbox games will come to the Switch 2. Um, and maybe that's something they will reveal in the Xbox showcase down the line or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's all I've got so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm not loving it.
fair enough. But then you're
Yeah,
4 chapters in, and you'd imagine it's gonna
exactly.
be a little bit more than
Yeah,
5 chapters, like, you know.
this might ramp up. I might by the end of it be like, oh, fucking game of the year, unbelievable. I want to finish it. Like I want to keep
Mm.
playing, so I don't dislike it. Um, but for example, is it like so based on the first 4 chapters, am I so in love with it that I'm like, man, this is definitely got to be in my top 5 Xbox games? No, not yet. But maybe when I finish it, it will. We'll have to wait and
Maybe.
see. I want to hear from other people anyway. Let us know what you think of South and Midnight, guys. But we're going to use that as our jumping off point then to talk about our personal top 5 Xbox games of all time. Eric, I feel like I've been talking for quite a bit on South and Midnight, so I'd love you to go first if that's okay.
Well, I have a question because we
Okay,
we established one rule, which
we
was
did.
it has to be Xbox first, so it can't be Nintendo or
Yeah.
PlayStation. It's okay if it came out on PC at the same time because
And then I said privately to you that I was going to cheat on one entry. And I
you
am.
did also say
I'm
you were
going to
going
be
to
honest,
cheat.
I am going to cheat, but I'm going to try and justify the cheat.
Okay, you can try all you want.
Yep.
Doesn't mean I'll accept it. Uh, this is my question though. We didn't fully clarify.
Sure.
Does a series count as one entry?
No, I don't think so. So,
No?
like, are you saying like so? For example, and
If I was to say
there's a
Halo,
yeah, I was just gonna say there's a really good chance when you're naming your top five that Halo might make an appearance
hmm.
somewhere in someone's top five Xbox games. Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like I'm not though. Um, but yeah, can someone then go? My number one pick is the Halo franchise. I mean, maybe if you want to just say it's the Halo franchise. If I had to pick my favorite out of them, it's going to be this one. But as a result, they are like my. If you want to do it that way, you can. But I would think if you want to actually name specific ones in the top five, you could do that too.
No, you know, I was just wondering because if let's say someone's was the Halo franchise,
Yeah,
and there is
they can't mean that. There's definitely you'd have to
nine
pick.
of those games,
I'd say there's more.
well, Halo
Is there
Combat
more?
involved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Infinite, sorry, so that's six.
Halo
Then there's
Reach.
Halo Reach, Halo ODS, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Wars, and Halo Wars 2.
And are we certain that there's no other like Halo like mobile games and shit?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, look, well, in the Xbox conversation, that wouldn't matter. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, okay.
Is
So, but if someone's like, "Oh, my top five," like they'd have to pick their five favorite Halo games.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Like it'd be,
And then, do you want like, do we get honorable mentions? Do we want to throw out some honorable mentions? I don't know, as well.
we can do.
Can do,
Okay,
yeah.
so if we're going first, and I have to say top five Xbox games, I will first off the bat say Mass Effect 1.
Okay.
Has to be mentioned, came to Xbox first, and that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
probably I mean that's that was the one that got me into the Mass Effect series, and I think was probably the first one I played that actually had dialogue choices that affected what you did and the outcome of things, as well as the first time of seeing. Um, Actually, it was the second game I saw where you create a character and they speak, which was revolutionary to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the companions, and it was very cinematic and just getting into this sci-fi world and everything like that. And it's still a series I play today. Like I only played it again a couple of weeks ago. The whole trilogy
It's
is
so
amazing.
good. It's so good.
And I have the board game to it, and I know Pagan is playing at the moment, so it has to be mentioned as the first Mass Effect game
I
that came
was,
to Xbox
I mean,
first.
obviously, it was a groundbreaking RPG that also changed RPGs forever.
Mm.
Um, Mass Effect 1 would get an honorable mention for me. It's personally not in my top five Xbox games because I even think of I personally, I wouldn't even go back to play Mass Effect 1. I would play the one from the Legendary Edition, which is a different game, and that's obviously not an Xbox game, you know. So
Right, okay.
yeah, I love the world of Mass Effect, and this will come up later probably. Um, but I was like playing one fucked me off. So what the Mako fucked me off, and the
Yeah,
combat
yeah, I know.
wasn't great. But the world building was, and the lore, and the voice acting, and the music was fucking incredible. That it has to get for me an honorable mention, and I wouldn't be surprised at it being in anyone's top five Xbox games of all time, and certainly one of the most iconic. Again, if I was Xbox, I'd be really trying to get that exclusivity of the next Mass Effect. I think trying to keep it with Xbox would
That
be a
depends
huge
on
deal, man.
whether they're still going to make it.
They are. They are. 100% they're going to make it. You don't think so? Why would you have any doubt?
Veilguard.
Yeah, they made that. What the hell were they thinking? Dragon Age is not as big as Mass Effect. I don't care what anyone says.
Mm.
It's big. Oh, it's huge. Don't get me wrong.
It's huge,
It's huge.
but
It is
I'm not
not as
thinking.
big as Mass
Yeah,
Effect.
but I'm not thinking about the fan base there. I'm thinking about the company looking, going, BioWare just made a game and it didn't do well,
I think they'd be going right. We
and
need
they
to put out Mass.
fired a
I
bunch of people from BioWare. That
100%. I think the bigger problem, personally, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're on the ball. I think the bigger problem is that they're going to go, oh, we need to rush Mass Effect out quicker.
that could be the
And
other
that
issue.
could be worse because it might be an Andromeda situation again, where it's just not ready and it's broken, and that's the way people remember it, rather
Yeah.
than on its own merits. I think they'll be like, oh, we need to make our money back. Get
Mm.
that fucking Mass Effect out because that's gonna sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of the two options, and both are well, it's not one of the two options. Third option
The
is
third option is they take their time and it comes out. It's absolutely fucking amazing.
yeah, it's exactly what we want. But like the other two options are likely, and that's a scary thing.
We got to do a Mass Effect episode
Have we
sometime this
not
year.
done that?
We need to do a proper dedicated. We've mentioned Mass Effect loads of times, and I don't think we've done a proper. Let's talk about the Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah, because you see, this is the thing, right? I know we've only mentioned my one, we haven't mentioned your one yet. But this is the thing about Mass Effect, right? So you always say I have to do favorite game, and I'm only allowed to choose one.
Yeah,
That's why I choose a Witcher 3. Because that's a fantastic choice-based RPG game. Again, amazing music, amazing world building.
and for a
Uh,
while it was Skyrim.
for a while it was Skyrim, but see
Yeah,
the problem with Skyrim, combat has let it down, and that's
hmm
literally it.
yeah.
And it's the only game where I go that actually tempts me to build a PC. It's to play
Wow,
Skyrim.
wow, wow, wow. For all
But
like the
I'm also
mods and
like,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, it's just because
yeah.
then you can get it up to that stage.
Hmm.
But if I was allowed to choose a franchise to be my favorite, it probably would be Mass Effect.
I hear you. I mean, that's no different than like if someone was to say, yeah, like my favorite game, as everyone knows at this point, anyone who listens to us, Final Fantasy VII.
Hmm.
Always will be. It's hard to burst that nostalgia bubble. But favorite game series, Metal Gear Solid.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think you can have a. I don't think your favorite game is necessarily means that's your favorite series.
No,
You
no,
know,
no. And
because if I
Metal
was to
Gear
say Final Fantasy is my favorite series, I would be lying. I like Final Fantasy a lot. I love it actually, and certainly certain entries. But if I was like, I
You
mean,
haven't played all of them.
man, yeah, I'd be some poser to say Final Fantasy is my favorite series, and then you put me in a room with another like Final Fantasy fan who's played them all to death, and they would absolutely floor me in the trivia quiz. You know what I mean? I feel
For
like,
sure, yeah.
oh, I thought the questions were just going to be on 7 and 10. You know. Anyway, okay, so my number 5 entry. I'm gonna do the cheat. I'm gonna do the cheat.
Oh, I was actually doing well. I was doing it in no particular order, but I suppose yeah, Mass Effect 1 would be number 5 on my list. But yeah,
Yeah, I gotta do the cheat one first, and then you're gonna be like, you can't have it, and I'm gonna try and justify it, and I love it too much to, as I really want to put it in. And the reason I'm giving it the 5 spot anyway is because I'm like, it really should be like on the edges of whether it's allowed or not, right? So, this game did not launch exclusively on Xbox first. However, and here's my argument, it was an Xbox 360 launch title. And I feel so it came out on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 wasn't out yet. I feel that most people who played it on the 360, and therefore it is associated, it's a 360 launch title. I think it's associated with the Xbox 360, even though it was available on GameCube and PlayStation 2. And the first Xbox as well, I should say. And that is the video game of Peter Jackson's King Kong. It was the first Xbox game I ever played in our household, because I only ever played Xbox at a friend's house. And then when we had the 360, it was the first game Adam got on, I believe. It was the game that you played as the demo in GameStop on the 360. People used to go in and play the bit with the T-Rex on the raft. And it is an amazing game and an island adventure. And I don't know, have I made enough of a case that I can have it? Or are you like, no fucking way, you can't have it?
Chris,
Yeah.
what was the rule?
Yeah, I know. I said I was going to cheat a little bit.
Yeah, okay, but there's cheating, and then there's just taking a dump on the rules. It has to release first on Xbox 360.
It did. And
No, it didn't, because it released first on the PS2, the GameCube, and the.
and the 360 on the same day. So
But
it launched as a launch title on the 360, but on that same day, a version of it also launched on PS2, GameCube, and Xbox One. as in the first Xbox, not Xbox One.
Yeah, it was very stupid
So
doing
it
that. So
didn't
it
come
was
to
very that name was
yeah.
very stupid. The Xbox One, yeah, it
So
was
it
very silly.
didn't come to 360 later. It
I
came out
feel
the
like
same day
I feel like that should be
as a
the
launch
honorable
title.
mention
I feel like
because of
it's in
the
my top
rules.
5 Xbox games.
Okay, fair enough. It's
I
in your
tell you
top
what,
five.
I've made my case. You disagree with me, fair enough. I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to let
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
audience tell me, Chris, you're fucking wrong. You cannot include that as an Xbox game. However, if you haven't played it, go back and find it, right?
Oh, play it. Yeah, for
And play it.
sure.
The great thing is, you'll probably find plenty of copies of it because there was like everyone bought it as a fucking launch game.
Yeah.
You'll find them in these like in a CEX or whatever kind of secondhand video game store you have in your region or in your country, wherever you are. Get King Kong from the 360, and it will play on your Series X because you've got backwards compatibility,
True.
and you will have a great time playing through island adventure with big monsters, picking up bones and spears and trying to survive, and trying to survive from dinosaurs, picking up ammo. It's such
That's
a fucking good game.
that's another kind of revolutionary game of how to do like King Kong.
Oh yeah,
To
big
do
time.
the human first person experience and
Mm.
then the third person King Kong. And I remember you were saying it, and I absolutely agree with you on it. Doing a Transformers game where you play as the humans in first person and then Transformers in third person. I was like, that is a great idea. Like,
Especially when at that time, because it was obviously they were all based on the Michael Bay movies,
mm,
and part of the Michael Bay movies experience was there was a human story and a Transformer story.
yeah,
And I was like, yeah, I mean, why not play as the soldiers? Basically, Call of Duty, but shooting big fucking robots and full on war zones going on around you.
yeah.
And then it goes to third person, and you get to do the big proper fucking
Michael Bay fights.
mech battles, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, they didn't.
no, they're not doing that.
King Kong would have been the inspiration, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right, that's
okay.
your number five. Okay, fair enough.
Apparently.
Fucking
What's
hell.
going to annoy people then is my honorable mentions are actual Xbox exclusives.
Right. Okay. For my number four, then. Now this is in no particular order. Okay.
I know it is. Go on. This is your number 4.
Oh. Well, then number four would have to be Gears 5.
Hey! Gears 5 is also my number 4.
Holy shit.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
I love the Gears of War games.
Yes.
And I think Gears 5 is so far, and I can't wait for E-Day, but the second best Gears of War game.
I think it's the second best as well. Obviously, some people would disagree based on the lack of war in Gears of War 5, but then that's why it's not called Gears of War 5. It's just called Gears 5.
Mm.
Is the fact that there is a lack of warfare in it, but I think it's made the characters from Gears of War 4 better. I think it improves on them.
Mm-hmm.
In the fourth one, they have a much more nearly MCU style to them.
Yeah.
Like a bit of a, oh, well, that happened. Oh, look at that. It's a big, ugly guy. Oh, boy. And, like, that's kind of their attitude. And it's like, you do realize those things are monstrous with, like, they're ugly and they're naked and they're trying to kill you. But that just doesn't phase them. They seem very unfazed. But then in 5, there's much more humanity to it and there's much more like conflict, the inner conflict that Kate has, and then the conflict that she has with JD's character. Yeah, I think, and then the lore, you get that bit of lore of Queen Mira and the Locusts. I don't know if it fully kind of. I think if you play the other games and you get the 5, there is a bit of that. When did what?
Yeah. Does it all
um,
fully add up? But
yeah, but it's still pretty cool.
as
Um,
well as a Xbox exclusive, so this one cannot be argued with. You know,
no, no, no.
um, we mentioned this as well in our like best co-op games. You know, like it
Mhm.
was so fucking fun to play together. It worked really well online. Like
Mm.
we were in separate houses playing it. We weren't doing couch co-op, and it worked so well. Um, the graphics are fucking amazing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, really good. Chainsaws are as satisfying as ever. So much
Of
fun.
course,
Gameplay
always.
loop. But like the pacing of the game is great. Like going from intense shootouts and cover shooting and stuff like that to then there's a lot more moments I felt in this one where there was stealth takedown moments and like
Mm.
try to figure out what's the best way to get past these enemies, including like the new enemies they introduce, like the mechs and stuff. And um, it's such a cinematic, epic journey, as well as the couch buddy co-op shooter as well. Gears is just to me, and I know Halo is the actual flagship of Xbox,
Mm.
but to me personally, Gears of War should be. I've said it. I really
He said
think
it, guys.
I
He's
think
been bold.
it does give you some of the Halo experience, and I'm not shitting on Halo. You'll hear it soon. Halo is amazing. But it also gives like really great storytelling as well, that is obviously it is there in Halo, but I do think that there's a lot more of it in Gears. And there's a lot more of a focus on the campaign mode, as well as then you can do your multiplayer like co-op modes, you can do your horde modes and all that stuff. I'm surprised and excited that they didn't decide to, because the story ends on a cliffhanger, and we're all like, "Oh, let's wait for Gears 6." And I think they know that you're kind of when you next time you see Gears, you're expected it to be Gears 6.
Mm.
So them to turn around and go, "No, we're doing Gears E Day, and we're going back." It's like that's really exciting. It also makes you wonder, will they ever do Gears 6? I feel like they will down the line.
I hope so.
But we'll have waited so long for it that the anticipation will have built that Gears 6 will be a big deal.
Yes.
But Gears E Day is also now a big deal because now it's like, oh, we're going back. We're going back to Marcus and Dom and how it all started. It's gonna be
Dumb.
amazing. And we're like, do you know what the big shame is gonna be?
Chainsaw?
No, you don't have an Xbox, so I'm gonna have to play with Adam. I have to play with Adam.
No,
without you.
Adam will just give me his
No,
Xbox.
why would he? Why would he? Me and
Well,
Adam are
if
gonna
he-
have to play Gears E Day together, and you're gonna be left out. And
That's, you know what? I could always just go to your house.
you could just get a Series S, which is the one you borrowed anyway. They're way cheaper. They're like.
I could just go to your house, and then that's really couch buddy.
That's awesome and all, but it's really hard to line that up sometimes.
I don't know. I feel like we can do it. There's a will, there's a way.
Really?
That's
Well,
what
anyway.
Dom. That's what Dom and Marcus would want. You know.
That is what they
want
would
us-
want.
They would want us together,
Gears
brothers in
5
arms.
is fucking excellent. And so, yeah,
Very
that's both of our number 4 spot,
Number 4 spot.
which takes us to number 3. And I think it's my turn to say the next one.
I suppose so. Yeah.
My number 3, I think is fitting as well because it has the number 3 in it. And it's my personal favorite Halo game.
Okay.
Halo 3. It made it into the best co-op game too, and I like I said, Xbox to me is like the co-op console.
Mm.
I've only played kind of a handful of the Halo games, so I'm sure there's going to be Halo aficionados out there who might say, "Man, how could you not say whichever one that maybe is considered the best one by everyone?"
I think it's Halo 2.
Right. I don't know which one it is, but for me, it's Halo 3. I absolutely love the game. I love the gameplay. To me, I have fond memories of like Halo 3 was one that a lot of us were playing the multiplayer of quite a lot over friends' houses and stuff. It was kind of the big one of the 360 era. And the soundtrack to Halo 3 is fucking amazing. And also, I don't remember, but again, I'm not the biggest Halo expert. I don't remember the flood before Halo 3.
I think they're in all of them. They're
Are they in all
definitely.
of them?
I think I heard that they're in all of them, but they're definitely in Halo 2 because you meet the
Okay,
Gravemind face to face in Halo 2.
Awesome.
He is an ugly motherfucker, but you meet him face to face.
If anyone thought earlier when what I was saying about Gears that it meant I don't like the lore to Halo, it didn't mean that. Man, Halo's got some fucking cool lore. The Covenant and shit is fucking badass. But I do remember that the Flood take a huge role in the latter half of Halo 3.
They do.
The Arbiter is a fucking awesome character. And then Halo gameplay is so fucking fun. the high jumps and the low gravity and using the vehicles and the different weapons you can pick up, clearing bases, capture the flags, all those things. Um, like the loop of the Halo gameplay is just fucking amazing. And yeah, to this day, Halo 3, even though like, and I've played Halo Infinite now as well. And part of Halo Infinite, the thing I liked was it just reminded me of Halo 3. Like when we were playing, I was playing with the guys online, doing the maps and stuff, and I was like, man, this is just like fucking Halo 3. This is so fucking fun. And so it was more like it transported me back to that game more than anything else. Um, it's a good game in its own right. I will give it that, but yeah, to this day, Halo 3 is still my favorite Halo game.
That is Halo 3 is actually an honorable mention for me.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What would take your number 3 spot?
This is the thing. I could have actually rattled off all five of mine very easily, very quickly. Gears of War 2
Takes number
would be
3.
my would take number 3.
Wow. Okay. I suppose I didn't want to give away the game too early, but okay, Gears of War 2 is my number 2 Xbox game of all time and my favorite Gears of War game. But since you've said, I want to hear from you first.
That's well, it's the I definitely because I played the first one. But with the first one, I hadn't really a clue what was going on. It was just like, okay, it's a cover shooter. You're shooting people and you're doing some things, and I haven't a clue. Gears of War 2 is the one that really establishes this is what's going on. This is who we are. This is what we're fighting for. This is as what's at stake. It really propelled the character and the story and the world more. With the monologue of Chairman Prescott about the Locusts and E-Day invading, and then you have the like soldiers and the music swelling up, and it was so badass to then go into that point of training Carmine. Oh, Carmine.
Carmine!
Carmine.
I had an emotional attachment to Carmine in that game. I still hate Cole. I hate Cole. He got Carmine killed. One day I'm going to show everyone the clip. I'm going to prove it. He got Carmine killed. Carmine would be alive if it wasn't for Cole. Cole, you bastard!
And then it was the one that established the Queen Mira and the sinking of the true desperation of humanity
Mm.
as well. And it was a great co-op fucking campaign to play through and everything like that. You know what I mean? Dropping on the big mines downwards. The bit when you find was it Ty or Kai?
Oh, yeah, Kai.
And he comes out and he's got all the rings in his back and he's tortured to fuck. And
Yes.
it's like a real gruesome.
Like there's horror elements to the locusts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you find out as well. It starts touching on the why the locusts are actually doing the why they invaded is because there's another threat which is kind of worse than the. Yeah, it just links everything. It's such a great game. And then the bit with Maria.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like Dom's wife.
Hmm.
Like okay, so we were saying earlier about like, Gears 5 and how good that is. Gears 2 obviously has all the same great gameplay and things like that. But it's got your original broskies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's got like don't get me wrong, the characters of Gears 5 are great, but it's hard to top the original bros. And then Dom's emotional journey in searching for and then finding his wife is like, oh fuck, it gets you in the feels, man. It's like we're fighting. It's personal. It's not just war. It's personal.
Yeah, it's one of those things where as well, because you know the way when you're younger, you just assume that games are 18s because they're violent or they have graphic imagery or something in it,
Sure.
or adult imagery. But it's like it's not just that. It's not just that stuff. It's also the stuff that only when you're older does that stuff with like Maria really hit. Because
Yeah,
you have that
you have an understanding of.
you have you have an understanding, you have an emotional development and maturity that I was only recently enough, I think when you had gave me the Xbox when you were off in Florida and I was playing through the old Gear series, as you do. You
And it
got
didn't make him want to buy one, lads. I really thought it would. I thought he'd be going, man. Listen to how quiet this console is.
Yeah, and bumping those hours of Starfield up. Great.
Jesus, did you? Jesus. Fucking hundreds of hours in it.
I don't even impressive, but like that moment with Maria really got me
Yeah.
more so than what it did
Than
all
it
the other
ever
times
did,
I've
yeah.
had. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was just like, fucking locust bastards, like yeah, and that's the game as well that really establishes the emotional connection. That then when you go to Gears 3, Gears 3, and you get to the end of Act 3. And Dom is there, and he's like, "Come on, Maria, I gotta see you again." I
Like
was just
that
like,
whole moment is sold because you played through Gears 2, and
"Yeah,
it's sold even stronger if you played it with someone
yes,
because like there's just the bromance and the it's all there. We can't talk about how like Gears 2 being my number 2 favorite Xbox game of all time as of yet. We can't talk about Gears 2 and not mention what is still to this day one of my favorite gaming moments ever in anything I've ever played, which is chainsawing your way through the arteries of a giant worm.
yeah." It's
Incredibly satisfying. Now, I will admit, it helps when you're also listening to heavy metal at the same time. That's an added feature, you know? But my God, I was like, this is fucking insane. This is just crazy shit. And the fact that they've taken my favorite feature, the chainsaw, and turned it into. And then I also love those, those moments where you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna chainsaw them all. I'm out of ammo. I'm just gonna fucking. And like you're basically on Grey and you should be dead and you happen to get through the last three guys. And you just go, how the fuck did I make that? I love those moments where you
yeah.
barely made it through. Ah, like Gears is full of those kind of moments that are just incredible.
That and that added in the horde mode, and it added in new weapons and executions. It just absolutely ramped that up.
Yeah, and a stellar campaign
Stellar
the whole
campaign.
way through. And fuck you, Cole. You got Carmine killed. I'll never forgive you. I'm telling you guys, if anyone doesn't realize what I'm talking about, go back and watch. He tells him to stop shooting. Come on, you idiot, or something like that. And then Carmine turns his back and gets shot. He was holding the line. God damn it, Cole. Anyway, so I'd like to hear your number 2 then, favorite
My number two.
Xbox game of all time. I'm
Mass.
surprised. I thought it was going to be Gears 2.
No,
And I'm assuming we both have the same number 1.
I would imagine so.
And then I have a feeling now that you're about to say one that you're going to have to fight a case for. Like I had to with King Kong. Maybe you are. I think you're about to. The only one I can think of that you might say that I haven't said, but there's a reason I haven't said it, is because it did not launch on Xbox on its own.
Hold on a second. I'm checking this.
Check it out. I bet you anything that you're. I had already looked it up. Like I was like, oh no, I can't include that one. That one actually released everywhere at the same time. But if you're going to justify it somehow,
Uh, hold on.
I'm holding on.
Hold on.
I'm holding on.
Hold on. I would say the game anyway, just so the people are not.
Oh, they know.
Ah.
They know that you were going to say Mass Effect 3 as your number 2. But Mass Effect 3 was the only Mass Effect of the original trilogy that when it released on everything simultaneously. Now, to be fair, I did cheat with King Kong. I felt because it was a 360 launch title that I had a good hook there. I don't know what your hook is for this one. The only reason we got on
Because I
Xbox
fucking.
was
Because to carry it
the
over.
carryover, yeah. That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah. All right. No,
So
no,
could we say
no.
that most Mass Effect fans finished their experience on the Xbox?
Yes, they would, but I am sticking to the rules, Chris. I
Okay.
cannot say it.
Okay.
And
It,
therefore,
yeah.
I will say.
And would it still be your number 2, or do things move around now if you're putting something else in?
No, no, this will. This will actually. This will become number 5.
Right, yeah, so everything else moves down. So Gears 2 is number 2 now.
Now Gears 2 is number 2.
Um,
Gears 5 is number 3.
yeah,
Mass Effect 1 is
is
number
number
4.
4. So this new one is number 5. Okay.
This new one is number 5, and I think it will definitely have to be a Halo game.
Sure. What's the best of the Halo lot for you in your playthroughs? You played way more Halo than I did.
I've definitely played more Halo than you because I played Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo 3 ODST, Halo 4, and Halo Wars.
Man, you should go back and play Halo 1.
Probably should. And Halo 2. I should
It was
probably play
fucking
that.
it. Halo 1 is brilliant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is Halo is the Flood not in that? If you've played that game, is the Flood not in
I
that?
didn't finish it, so I don't know. I didn't meet them. But
You should go
of what I
finish it.
played, it was really fun.
I think the Flood are in it. I think they're in all three of them.
Okay.
They're not in all the other one. They're in Halo. They're not in Reach, ODST 4, 5, and Infinite. I think they're not in those ones because I think by Halo 3 they are dead.
Okay.
I think, but then again, they are in Halo Wars 2. But I
Okay.
am gonna say
Yeah.
Halo Wars.
Halo Wars. Is that the top-down
That's the
strategy
one
one?
that every Halo fan right now is gonna be screaming at me like, "What the fuck is wrong
How
with
is
you?"
that your favorite Halo game? So, and why is it?
Very simply, the cinematics are better.
Oh, okay. Did that have the big CG cutscenes and stuff?
The CG cutscenes, Nolan North as John Forge.
Oh, no, North's in it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Fighting the evil Arbiter. The Spartans kicking ass. Just absolutely mowing down the elite, the elites as they charge on them. Uh, you fought the Flood in that.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, I think you collected skulls like you did in all the other ones that gave you special abilities and stuff like that. But I like RTS games. I
Yeah,
don't
I
play
feel
enough
like it
of them
was
anymore.
a similar time that you got into XCOM.
Yeah, probably around.
Around, yeah?
Yeah, or would have been a few years maybe beforehand. And I think I definitely played enough hours. I played actually a lot of hours of all the Halo games, most of them, the ones I did play. But I think that one just it had a slightly more cohesive, coherent, well-structured story. And I don't mind the RTS aspect of it. I think that sets the tone for the fact that you are definitely fighting a war against Covenant,
Mm-hmm.
rather than being that lone person running around on your own, shooting grunts that are running away from you. Um, and then the fact that you could play you could do the skirmish modes, and then you could play as the Covenant, and whichever leader you chose gave you special abilities and units. Um, yeah, that
Awesome.
that that one. It's specifically for the CGI and the music.
So Halo Wars, the first one, not Halo Wars 2.
No, because I never played it.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so before we get to our number one, which we both know is what it is,
Of
um,
course, it's Dead Rising.
absolutely. Should we do our some honorable mentions that didn't make it into our top five but were considered?
Yeah, it's all the other Halo games.
For you, yeah? Okay. Okay. Is
Ah,
that
well, Halo Reach has to get an honorable mention. That's a
that's the one that
great.
I often hear people say is the best.
Right, like for Halo Wars, for me personally, it's a bit of a nostalgia thing. It's a bit of just the way
Mm,
it's paced and the story and having John Nolan North in it, like, is really nice. And yeah, seeing humans dealing with these giant elites, 7 foot, 8 foot tall elites, and how terrifying that can be is pretty cool. But Halo Reach is really good based on the team of Spartans, the really seeing how fucked humanity can get by the Covenant.
mm.
Um, yeah, very cool campaign. Um, and just very cool cast of characters with the diverse characters. They have a very cool characteristics to them. Each of the unique designs, each of
Yeah.
the Noble Six team. So yeah, Reach has to be an honorable mention.
So is it just Halo Reach then? How many other honorable mentions we got here?
Well, depends on like uh well, Halo 3 I already said. Halo 3 is an honorable mention. Halo
Yeah.
Reach is an honorable mention. Um Halo 4 was fine. I probably no, I wouldn't really give that. Yeah, it's probably just those two. Because I like Dead Rising was fine, and I don't know, like, was Civilization 4, was that just Xbox and PC?
Oh, I'm not
Then
sure.
I don't know even if I'd count it. I just
Okay.
remember Gandhi being an absolute dick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He always is in those games.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay, so for my honorable mentions for the Xbox, I have Mass Effect 1, of course.
Mm.
I have, which we talked about a little bit about, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Was a great adventure game, especially the puzzles and stuff. I thought were great fun. It is coming to PlayStation later this year, or later this month actually. And I did talk about it at the start of the year. It wouldn't get into the top five because I thought the combat wasn't great. Um, I
Oh,
don't even know if I'd play it again. But the exploring and stuff was just so much fun. So that's another honorable mention. Hellblade 2. I guess an
offer.
honorable mention. The visuals are just fucking outstanding to that game. Absolutely outstanding. And I want to see more games that look like it. That blew my mind actually. That one nearly made my top five. Only for I don't think I'll ever play it again. Whereas I could see myself playing all the ones from my top five again.
Mm.
And I felt like that is important actually. It's like, oh well, if you'd never played again, but you would play those again, surely you prefer those. You know what I mean? But I do think that it was visually outstanding. Um, Hi-Fi Rush gets an honorable mention. That was a lot of fun. And Forza Horizon 5.
Can I change my number, please?
Wow. What? How
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm changing.
dare
I'm changing,
you?
but yeah, no,
Again?
actually, yeah,
Again?
well, you know what?
So Halo Wars is getting an honorable mention and something
I'll
else
get
is
an honorable mention because I'm thinking,
yeah.
and you know what? It'd be a crime. It'd be a crime for me to not actually put another Gears of War game in there.
Another one?
Oh yeah.
Which one?
Uh, Probably Gears 1.
It's funny to me that you're saying it'd be a crime not to put yet another Gears game in there, but it's not a crime to you to put one of the Halo games in there.
But for me
Because
personally,
I agree with you. I actually prefer the Gears franchise,
yeah, yeah.
but I think a lot of people be like, "Really? You're gonna have three Gears games and no Halo games?" But obviously, I know honorable mentions are also games you love.
Yes. Yeah, no, no. It's just that even on the front that you're saying, play it again.
Yeah.
Like you'd play Hi-Fi Rush again. You'd play Mass Effect 1 again, but it'd be more on the Legendary Edition, but you'd play it again. You know what I mean? And I just think like I would play Gears of War again. The first one. And Gears of War 2. And Gears of War 3. And Gears of War 4. And Gears of War 5. Like I'd play all through all of them
No.
again.
Yeah.
No bother.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so
Absolutely no
good.
bother. So that's why I'd have to, and I think Gears of War 1 because it's the one that got me into
Mm.
Gears of War. It's the first
Yeah.
one that started it.
It's so good. This became a Gears of War love letter episode almost.
Yeah.
Um,
But like the Halo games have to like they're all the ones I've played are all honorable mentions because they
yeah.
are very good, very fun games. But for me, where they fall down, and I suppose that's where Halo Wars rises up, is because it was different gameplay. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a bit of a break
Mm-hmm.
while you're able to get into that universe. It is actually kinda. I'm gonna get absolutely shot for this. It's kind of the combat.
Okay.
Actually, genuinely, the gameplay is where it kind of falls off for me.
Okay. I think it's great, but okay.
It is kind of the jumping and the shooting and the
That you're not into?
and the jump and melee attack and the shoot and the melee attack and yeah,
I like
it's
it. It works for Halo. I think where I hate it is where others very clearly try to recreate it. And I'm like, no man, you can't do it. Halo can do it. You can't do it.
which games try to recreate it?
I have played games before that have tried to do the whole you jump and then you slow down in the air and you're shooting and all this kind of stuff. What's coming to mind? Um, Now I know people absolutely really got into this and absolutely loved it. Like I couldn't get into Destiny, for example. I felt too much like it just felt too much like, and I know it's weird to say because it's like the same guys, but I was like it just felt too much like a Halo clone to me. That
Yeah,
I was
no,
like I'd just rather play Halo, and
that's a
but that's probably of all the examples I could think of, like the best of the lot. There's definitely other games that are like they're not big names. You don't like them, and they try to do what Halo does.
that's a game actually, Destiny, where I feel, for me personally, that would have done better. if it was not an MMO.
Possibly, possibly.
For me, I know
Yeah.
obviously a lot of people loved it and they
I was
loved
saying
the
you
MMO.
would like it more, not it would have done better.
No, yeah, yeah. I like it would have done
Yeah,
better to engross me more
yeah.
if that was an MMO because that's another game
If it
where it's
wasn't an
got.
MMO, you're confusing the shit out of me. You're like
What am I saying?
you
What
keep
am I saying?
you keep going against yourself or contradicting yourself. I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
If it was a single player game,
Right, okay.
I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, what I was trying to say was that Forza Horizon 5 was an honorable mention anyway.
yeah, I heard that. Jeez, you were
The
going on for
graphics of that
ages.
game are incredible, and the racing mechanics are incredible. And I'm really excited, given that they're the ones making Fable. I think Fable is going to be
I didn't
something.
want to a Fable.
Yeah, I think
Ooh,
people should
nice.
absolutely keep. Even if you've never played Fable before, I was never a Fable fan. I think the next one is going to fucking turn heads.
I think that I don't. I think the nice thing with the new one,
Mm.
you don't need to have played the previous.
Absolutely not. No, it's going to be its own thing.
Yeah,
But
makes
now we're
sense.
going to talk about our number one favorite Xbox game of all time. There's no cheating here. There's no. It absolutely falls within the rules, and
It's
I
it's
think,
it's
I think,
Viva Pinata.
absolutely, I think it is not just our favorite Xbox game. I think it's the best one, and that is Mass Effect 2.
Hmm.
Bum. I take it that was your number one.
Ah, yeah.
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 We've talked about Mass Effect 2 many times. It made it into our the Brothers Takes top 10 games of all time, based purely on how highly me and Eric rated it, because Adam did not have it in his top 10 whatsoever.
No,
And it actually got up quite high. I think it got up to number 5 or something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah, yeah. So this game, I obviously first played on 360. It did come to PS3 later.
Mm-hmm.
But I played it when it was an Xbox PC exclusive. I decided to just throw it on. I've told the story before, but I decided to just throw it on while I had an extra week off for college. Didn't really know what else to do. Was like, oh, I'll try this game one day. I spent that whole week engrossed in that game, playing that game, getting to know all the characters, doing the loyalty missions, wanting more games like it, looking for them, not being satisfied. Other games weren't giving me exactly what I was looking for. Even Mass Effect 3, which I love, didn't give me what I was looking for. Even other BioWare games, like the Dragon Age games, did not give me what I was looking for. There is something incredibly magical about the loop of Mass Effect 2, the lore of Mass Effect 2. The gameplay works really, really well. They turned it into more of an Uncharted or Gears style cover shooter, which I thought worked so well for it. They took away the annoying fucking Mako. The music is still amazing. The storyline gets so fucking good and then leaves you on this massive cliffhanger. And then there's the ever famous suicide mission
Hmm.
that the whole game builds up to. And just that you're building this Avengers or Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai, the elite suicide squad basically of the galaxy. And they all have these dossiers, they all have their own backstories, they're all experts in their fields. Fucking incredible and one of the best casts in anything. Not just games, anything. So good. Eric, would you like to add?
It's a fucking brilliant RPG in that, like, you have your standard dialogue choice options, but then there's certain choices you make and you have no idea what the outcome is. Like upgrading your ship. What's the point of that? All right, okay, cool. And you don't
Yeah, yeah.
find out until the Suicide Squad mission. I didn't fully upgrade it the first time I played it. I had
No, neither
Kieran,
did I.
our cousin Kieran was with me, and Thane got impaled by a fucking pipe. I think Dali blew up. I think like 3 people died before I even landed on the fucking thing. Like, what? And then just the actual suicide mission music is fucking stellar. The way the game
Yes,
starts.
it's
What a
so good.
great way to start the game to allow newcomers into it.
Well, this is the thing because I had played a bit of Mass Effect 1 but never finished it because it annoyed me too much, to
Mm.
tell the truth. There's a lot I like about it, but there was a lot that just made me not enjoy the gameplay. I was like, where the fuck do I even go? Like, and oh, this fucking Mako is driving me crazy. So I actually finished Mass Effect 1 when I went back to play it after Mass Effect 2 because I
Mm.
loved Mass Effect 2 so much. So me jumping into Mass Effect 2, I didn't really know everything that had happened at the end of Mass Effect 1.
Mm.
And yet, it found a great way of catching me up on what I needed to know. It found a great way of me getting to create a character because I
Mm.
couldn't import the character, but it was still the same character. And it found a great way of like them doing like the psych evaluation for you to then decide what did you do at the end of the first game
Yeah.
so that it could then continue the story as it needed to. Like it's very there it was very cleverly written.
Very clear. Yeah, very clear. And yeah, the characters that you have, and just like, like I was playing those games recently enough, a couple of weeks ago, last month or something like that, and there was still new shit I found in that game,
Mm.
which is like that's a thing you want when you stick on an RPG. When you stick on Skyrim, you want to find new shit. When you stick on Baldur's Gate 3, you want to find new shit. When you stick on the Mass Effect trilogy, you want to find new shit. And that's a game that gives you that new stuff, that new choices, the character banter, the like when they're on missions, the loyalty missions is such a good idea.
Amazing.
That's such a that again, you're going to find many other RPGs nowadays having that stuff because they did it. And the evolution of your characters and having like having a stellar voice cast. They had Martin Sheen. They had fucking Martin Sheen to be the
The
elusive man.
elusive man, Shepard, love him.
Yeah,
He's
love him.
and just smoking in front of like a huge sun
Yeah,
in an unknown part of the universe. This mysterious, and he's so charismatic, and he's kind of honest with you, but you're also like, you're definitely slimy. Like I don't trust you at all, and yet you're
I
making a lot of sense to me.
I made the
Uh,
biggest mistake again. The first time I played that,
yeah,
I made the mistake of trusting him as well. Like four people survived. I think the suicide mission,
I had the
and
same
I trusted them.
experience where when the first time I finished it, and my jaw dropped by the time I got to the end of it all. Where yeah, I only had four survivors, including Shepard. I
Oh
lost
my!
like the whole team.
I think I had
It was
four
so
and
epic.
Shepard.
And don't get me wrong, I've played it since, and pretty much everyone has survived stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I will say, and obviously that makes the next game more worthwhile. Like there's an epic payoff to the end of the trilogy, so it is
Mm,
worthwhile replaying it to do that. But as a mission in and of itself, the first time I played the suicide mission was the most epic.
yes.
With how many people I lost and people I really cared about, you know what I mean? And like, I think who were my four survivors were so it was Shepard. I think it was Grunt,
You grunt survived for me.
Miranda,
Yeah.
because she's hard to kill, even though I hate her. She's my least favorite in the party. And then I think it might have been Jacob.
Yeah, I think it was Jacob for me. I
And I
think
kind of
I
like Jacob. You know, everyone else seems to hate Jacob. I kind of like Jacob, and I was like, oh man, you're the only one I wanted to live. Out of the guys I have here. I lost
I
Garrus, I lost Legion, I lost Thane, I lost Tally, I lost Samara, I lost Jack. All these amazing characters. Oh my
yeah, because
god, I can't believe it.
I brought Garrus died for me in the Seeker Swarm.
Right,
Because
okay.
Miranda was the biotic I brought, and she drops the biotic, and then the Seeker Swarm kills
See
Garrus.
what I mean? Like she even oh, she's such a bitch. I hate her so much.
Legion got shot.
Yeah.
I think I sent Morden into the vents, so he got shot.
Morden.
I think Tally blew up, so I wasn't able to choose her.
Hmm.
Thane got pierced by a pole. I think someone else died somewhere else. Oh, Kelly Chambers, she got melted in front of me. First time I played it. So that was like half my crew died.
How high up is before like we wrap up this episode of we I think it's very clear that we need to do a proper Mass Effect episode at some point, right?
Right.
Um and let us know guys if you want to check that out or want us to do that, but um how high up I know it obviously it's our favorite Xbox game. How high up is Mass Effect 3 in terms of your favorite games? Full stop.
Mass Effect 3 or Mass Effect 2?
Oh, sorry, Mass Effect 2. Sorry, Mass Effect 2.
Oh, top 5 for definite.
Yeah, it's in my top 5. Well, when you did the top 10, where do you remember where you had it? I know you had it in your top 10. That's why I was kind of asking. I was like, how high up was it in that top 10?
I actually can't quite remember.
Because I think it is my number 5. It's my number 5 game. So that's how high up it is in terms of all my favorite games ever. Which is fucking high, like.
No, I don't seem to have the document anymore. I don't know. I can't remember where I put it. But I would, yeah, well, I would have had it high enough that it got onto the list.
Well, okay, it's not your number 1 because that's The Witcher 3. Is it your number 2? Or is that Skyrim? Or is that Baldur's Gate?
I can't remember.
I'm asking you now, though. I'm asking you now.
I don't like this, Chris. Stop doing
I
this
want to
to me.
know. I want to know how high up Mass Effect 2 is. Is that
Top
fucking
5.
good? Okay, we're leaving it there. It's in both of our top 5 games, and it is our number 1 favorite Xbox game of all time. But is it your favorite Xbox game of all time, or do you have a different favorite Xbox game of all time?
Are you more correct and put Halo?
Have we mentioned your favorite Xbox game in the ones that we mentioned, even in the honorable mentions, or is it still a completely different game that's out there? Please do let us know. And if you've been playing South of Midnight, do you like it? I wonder, will it become one of my top 5 Xbox games when I finish it, or will it be just more of an honorable mention? Guys, if you've watched YouTube, make sure you jump down into the comments to share your own favorite Xbox games of all time. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all future content. And to those who listen to us on audio platforms, you can also touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on the best Xbox games of all time. And what are you hoping to see in the Xbox Showcase in June? We will be doing an episode on that in the future, so make sure you are following our podcast. We will be back to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.